Welcome to Colorful Anime, where we talk about anime from a colorful perspective. I'm so happy to be back. I got some friends with me. Chris.
Hi.
Malcolm.
Hello.
And Jordan is out of town, but we came to talk and we came to get ready. We're going to get right to it. Let's get into our main topic. We back here for clout to talk about the big three.
I'm dead.
I sent y'all this TikTok as well on this because I love TikTok. And this is from Umi, the creator, who wants to let everybody know that the big three is a fact. This is not like a sports debate. This is not a opinionated exchange that we need to go back and forth on. The big three, as we know it, and what are big three? One Piece, Naruto, Bleach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are the most popular anime of all time.
Nope.
What do y'all think about that?
No, that's not what Big Three is.
It's for a certain period of time.
There was a specific point in time where three very specific manga were selling at record levels in the industry so far to the point where they stood out amongst all the other manga that was coming out at the moment. And it was a perfect storm of things that happened for that moment in time. So
Right.
the big three isn't necessarily about those three anime being the best anime ever or the best selling anime ever. It's to signify a point in time in manga history where you had three manga that were selling at rates that were unheard of before that point.
Right.
And it made a huge, it was a shift in the culture, if that makes sense. And so that's why when you talk about the big three, you're not talking about the most popular anime. You're not talking about the best selling anime. You are talking about a specific moment in time, a very, very specific phenomena that happened at this moment in history and then changed the manga industry forever after that point. And so that's why she's like, it's a fact. It's a thing that happened. It's almost like a historical moment. But it's not a debatable
moment.
Right.
But
it's not a debatable top three thing.
As like a springboard.
This is
Right.
the top three.
And that's the thing that I think irritates me a lot is that people will conflate it and say, these are also the best three. I'm like, have you Bleach? Bleach? Is that Bleach? We dying on that hill?
Don't be disrespectful.
I'm just saying.
But like,
Bleach
I
fell off
would agree.
very quickly.
Big Three is a moment in time like the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
There have been major leaps in industry technologies after that, but the Industrial Revolution is a specific moment in time.
Yeah.
Like not the assembly line with the Model T, like you know what I mean? Not the making of the first electric car.
Yeah.
Those are all industrial revolutions, but the Industrial Revolution is a different moment in time.
Right.
It's that concept.
Do you all feel like we have anything comparable that has happened in the last 10 years?
Not in that same way.
Not I would
even
say
on a smaller scale.
Not quantifiable.
Yeah.
Because I say like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and what would be the third one?
Probably Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
they shifted
AOT,
how animation. Yeah, they shifted
those
how
are
animation
like
looks.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
what.
But it's no
peak animation.
But it's no
like
number thing to be like, these are the top three.
That wasn't necessarily that they also were the most popular anime. And it shifted the culture of animation.
Right,
I do think that Demon Slayer we're going to mark Demon Slayer in history as something that changes the course of animation and how we understand it. But I think you can also say that about Boji. You can also say that about Odd Taxi.
Did you say Boji?
Yeah, I did.
Like he's the
Ranking of Kings. It is the Boji show.
The Boji show.
You can also say that about Ranking of Kings and Odd Taxi.
Did you finish it?
What? No, I haven't.
Oh, see,
say
I'm about
nothing
to say
to me.
Because I'm like, Boji
nothing.
A real nigga.
But you have even when you talk like because it's not necessarily that those shows, even when you think about My Dress Up Darling and Spy Family, the level of animation in Spy Family is just fucking mind-boggling. Like, you don't even need to go this hard. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
But like, I think that we're having this moment where it's just like people are so, and technology's gotten to the point, I guess, maybe too, where animation is like at its
it's
peak.
like the generation shift in like video games. Like Metal Gear Solid 1 came out, it was like, oh my God, it can't get any better than this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like Dreamcast come out, PS2 come out. There's like, oh my God, it can't get any better than this.
But I think, because I think about like Naruto, the choreographed fights in that are absolutely beautiful. But we have so much
I would
now.
say technically, for all but maybe a handful of fights, the main fights in Boruto
are amazing.
Are top tier.
They're so good.
The main fights.
They're so good. But even when I look at stuff like Star Wars Visions, somebody was doing like reaction to some of the Star Wars Visions. I was like, I forgot how fucking good these fights were. Yeah. And I'm I think we are having a moment in anime. It's not manga, but we're having a moment in animation right now that it feels comparable, but there's not like outside of maybe Demon Slayer, there's not really one or a small group of anime that you can say these are the ones that are changing the game. It's like, no, the whole industry is shifting right now. And it does make me I wonder what the trigger might have been, but I don't know.
Well, I think I want to say
maybe it was Attack on Titan, because that fucking third season of Attack on Titan was amazing.
But I think it's Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan came out, and then
that was
and then
who did that?
And then Demon Slayer,
not Madhouse.
Who was that? Demon Slayer and Jujutsu
season
Kaisen.
3.
Like those all came out at the same time. Like Levi was chopping niggas up.
But season 3 of AOT was before that.
But I'm saying that was like that, and then it was like, this is. But then the next two things looked as good, if not better, and it was like, this is the standard now.
Demon Slayer is beautiful to look at. It's absolutely beautiful to watch. The story, you can feel how you feel. It's beautiful to look at, and that's why we watch it. Yeah. I'm so excited to see the next arc of Jujutsu Kaisen. I didn't get a chance to watch the movie, but I'm so excited to see the next season because I've read a little bit of manga now, and I'm so excited to see it animated.
Really?
Yes.
I gotta catch.
Oh my
I think
God.
I might have to start reading to catch up with Chris.
With the Jujutsu Kaisen.
I don't read anything.
What?
I don't even read instructions. Just look at it and figure it out.
I think what's hard about, especially because I know you and Jordan have qualms about Jujutsu Kaisen.
I think my thing is,
did we review that?
No, we didn't.
Oh.
No, we didn't. I mean, at some point we probably will.
It boring.
Huh? No. I found it redundant.
Yeah.
That's because you like Bleach, though.
No, that's because if you watch it, you could parallel, like, they use every single trope, and then they also use but it doesn't do anything other than the animation. Doesn't do anything story wise that's like
it's shonen.
That intriguing. Okay, you don't want to be disrespectful. That's like a point of disrespect. There's some interesting shonen now.
But I'm like
I'm saying, like, obviously, they use all the same, but that's my thing with Jujutsu Kaisen.
Shonen is the bread aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like, the nuts and seeds in my bread and stuff.
I know, but it's still like 7 of those.
I know.
On the shelf.
Well, not really. Not oats with the. Anyways, I'm not neither here nor there.
But with something like Jujutsu Kaisen, is a woman? Did a woman write Jujutsu Kaisen? No. I'm thinking of Demon Slayer.
Oh yeah.
The person that wrote Jujutsu Kaisen is writing a story, And when you try to compare, because even Malcolm's trying to go through the first season of Bleach.
I've stopped.
Okay, so
it's still good. Just because you stopped it, no, not good.
but what I'm saying is that you have a lot of that where it's like people are comparing a series that is completed as it was gonna be, huh?
Did you watch Bleach? Did you watch Bleach?
I tried.
You can't slander. Come on now, bruh.
I've seen bits and pieces. I've been trying to watch it, but I think I'm in the same camp of Malcolm where I'm just kind of like, maybe I'm just too old to enjoy this. Like I was like. Well, the people that like it do.
Yeah, well, some people are like that even now. We even like Naruto. They're like, this is a little much.
Yeah, Naruto Shippuden's not as good as Naruto.
Right.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't get weighty till you get close to the war.
Yeah.
So that's fair. I think
Naruto was weighty like first 10 episodes.
Like I could watch Naruto again and be like, this is really good.
Yeah.
I can watch Yu Yu Hakusho again and say this is really good.
Yeah, for sure.
If I watch Bleach again, I'm kind of like, I liked this when it was out as a child.
Yeah, well, I had to put an asterisk to it because I still only have to watch. I have to watch certain arcs and stuff like that. You can't watch it all the way through. It's not.
Obviously, I feel like very few shonen, long running shonen.
Yeah. That are like
like you
have redeemable value
for sure. Yeah. I think part of it is it's the fucking endings and then money grubbing too, where it's like if this is where the story ends, this is where the story ends. You know what I mean? And you let the story end.
Which because I mean,
I think about Dragon Ball Z. It had a very natural ending for that story. Right.
Yeah.
But they were like, we can't let this die. It's like, it's a cash cow. Mm-hmm. It's everywhere. It's super popular. The fans don't want it to go away. Because that's the other thing people forget about is like, sometimes it's not always a money grab. Sometimes the author sees people really, really love this series. Yeah. And I have an imagination. We could go anywhere from here.
It's like calling for an encore.
Why don't I do a sequel? Why don't I do something like that?
Yeah, and
so you have
can't blame
two sides of a coin. Yeah.
What do you think? And this, I guess, and if y'all want to comment anything more, but I guess it's my main question. And then I'll segue into our next, our thing that we're going to present. What do y'all think needs to happen to take whatever the next revolution that happens in manga or anime, because I think manga, I don't think that's going to have another revolution of sorts, or that's going to produce a big three, quote unquote, or whatever, or that vice versa. But I think anime still has some room to kind of take a turn to say, oh, this is how we do this now, or this is how this experience is. What do y'all? I guess if y'all had to get y'all crystal balls out and predict how things will go in that industry, what would need to happen in order to take that next step?
I don't think we get it again.
What, the big three?
I don't think we get anything like that again. I don't think we get anything that's a definable game changer.
Yeah,
we did with the big three.
Well, not in necessary sales, but cultural shift. I think when American pop culture switches with the sales, where manga becomes even or above American comics, then they become the Marvel, DC.
Yeah.
In America,
and they get that type of money thrown behind them.
That's gonna be the switch.
But what do you think? What type of series do you think could do that?
Do you think it's more of like Star Wars Visions, or
because imagine the Transformers budget behind what is it? Getting Robot Shinji. What's that one? We were just talking about Evangelion. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Imagine the Transformer budget being put behind Evangelion.
I think if you think about it, even Pacific Rim was solid, but it was still kind of in the corny shade. So imagine
but that was more of the story.
But but imagine Marvel movies. When they moved it out of the corny section. They be.
Well, but that was the other thing though. Too is the Marvel movies, though they respect the characters, you have one of the unique things about American comic books is that the industry was what it was, and so it kept restarting and redoing. So there's 10 different versions of Daredevil. Yeah. And so when you display Daredevil on camera, you can kind of pick and choose what type of Daredevil you want to do. And you can base it off of a storyline or whatever, but his characteristics can be drawn from all this different kind of stuff. With manga, you can't do that. One, because the fans won't let you do that. Yeah. But also because the stories don't lend themselves to multiple interpretations of itself. Yeah. So I don't even think that you can even.
But they lend themselves, in a lot of, not in a lot of cases. In long running cases, they lend themselves to the changing of the characters.
What do you mean?
You mean like
so? Like One Piece, Luffy has developed.
Yeah, over
so
time.
If you because manga's already like selling.
Which
up
did
here.
Y'all see the? Y'all don't watch One Piece like that. Never mind. No. I've been freaking out about Red.
So if you take spots where character development is changing. Mm-hmm. Then you can have kind of that same effect.
No, but what I'm saying is that when you're writing a script and you're trying to bring trying to bring something to film, you need to be able to have, because there's certain things that you can do in a manga and an anime that you can't do in real life.
Right.
And so you need the wiggle room to be able to create something that you can realistically produce. And what the comic book industry has that the manga industry doesn't have is a lot of source material for a single character. So if I try to bring One Piece, the One Piece is one story. It's not been rebooted or restarted. People didn't die and come back to life. They're not different versions. Different artists haven't taken a stab at it. Where in the American comic book industry, I got all of that. So I can tell a story that feels fresh and new, but also respectful of the old, while still being able to tell a new or different story.
I think you could do the same thing in certain manga adaptations by taking some of the corn, like not treating it like it's a corny thing.
I don't know though, because the characters are who they are, and that's who the person wants to see.
Right, I'm trying to think about the equivalent.
But like Naruto is not a corny story. Like if I took the story of Naruto and made it a real story, it's a solid, serious story. But if I take it like, this is some kid shit, and we're gonna play off the corniness of Naruto, even though Naruto's the only real corny thing in this whole scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then that might be just, you have to elevate, like those stories need to be elevated then. People have to start having better conversations about Naruto if you want a good movie
you would have
to be made out of that.
You would have to
It's got to be more. It's got to be more than hands.
You would have to sophisticate.
Like that's what everybody that talks about Naruto talks about. They be boxing.
But Naruto is super weighty. Mm-hmm. Like almost.
But nobody talks. But I mean, I won't say nobody talks about that. I think people in certain circles talk about it, but by and large, the thing that draws people to Naruto is not the story.
If you did the first, let's say you do the first 15 minutes of a Naruto movie in a tone of Kotaro lives alone. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's basically who he is at this moment in time.
Right. He very much is.
Yeah.
Without the Guardians looking after him.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know what I mean? So, like, if you do stuff like that, I think you can make something like that work.
I think, and you brought up a point, too. I think the one barrier with that is being able to make different reiterations. Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing behind in comic, but like in American comic books about Miles Morales or just even expanding certain universes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you can do that with American comic books because it's kind of like how Jamaicans treat rhythms. You know what I mean? Like where they like same drum break. Yeah. A million of us are going to use it, but we're going to make different songs, and it's all right. It's fine. What? No big deal.
What? Just this little thing made it ska? What?
That's what I'm saying. Like this,
it sounds the same. It's not the same.
Nope.
It's not.
Nope. It's using 20 different songs, but I think
it's also is baked into, like Chris said, comic books. Like that's why we can have 4 different types of Spider-Man movies come out. Because we've had a dozen different versions of a comic come out.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if we're gonna have that manga adjustable manga.
Yeah, manga don't do that.
I'm not sure if it's not going. I don't think it's gonna come from Japan. I think
manga doesn't
Disney's
do
gonna
that.
buy
period.
everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, manga doesn't lend itself to that. Period.
No.
If you even with the fans,
you failed and you can't do it over again.
Yeah. Okay, it's the Cowboy Bebop problem.
Yeah,
it's the Cowboy Bebop problem.
Yeah,
they tried.
You could try it again in 20 years.
No. What I'm saying is that they tried to tell a story based off of Cowboy Bebop, giving it the Marvel type of treatment. But because Cowboy Bebop is one story contained in itself, there aren't different versions of Cowboy Bebop. It isn't like
Spike goes evil or
nobody
whatever.
else, no other author has taken a stab at the story of Cowboy Bebop. There aren't alternate endings to it. The author hasn't come out and said there's other like things that he was thinking than what everybody else thought. But that's not a thing.
But they didn't. But they changed the story. Even Marvel stuff, even though they're pulling from different iterations, they're not really changing the story.
I don't agree.
Who changed the story?
But the reason why it feels like they didn't change the story is because there's 30 different stories.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So while I'm watching a comic book movie, I'm like, oh, they took this from Frank Miller's Daredevil. They took this from this version of Daredevil. Right. But what they did was you can't do that with a manga.
You can't
you shouldn't. That's my point.
Oh, yeah, but that's why I'm saying. But that's why I'm saying that when you get into the like, especially if I'm a Hollywood executive and I'm thinking, what do I want to spend my biggest money on? I don't want to spend it adapting a manga or an anime for a group of people that are going to want it to be just regurgitated the exact same way that it was.
But like I said, it doesn't. But like I said, they can add weight to it, like the Naruto example. It doesn't have to be regurgitated. It just has to be mature.
Don't you like hate Bel Air or something like that?
I just hate the concept of it.
Bel Air's fire.
I just hate the concept of it. But Naruto isn't a comedy. You know what I mean?
Naruto is a comedy.
I mean, but no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I think it's Naruto an anime which has elements of both comedy, drama,
elements in it. Yes, but it's not. Naruto is all the comedy plays off of who Naruto is as a person. The story isn't a comedy.
It's an action
I guess technically
series.
The story is a comedy.
Yeah,
in the most technical sense. But
but no, So I know. I think it's interesting because I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna continue to see Hollywood try to push some of those boundaries.
I don't think so.
I think Cowboy Bebop might have scared them off. Well, we'll see how One Piece does.
We'll see how One Piece does.
One Piece isn't gonna do good.
But Avatar might though.
I don't know if Avatar is gonna be well received either. And it's Netflix. It's not like a film release.
That's true. But I think Avatar might because an Avatar has already failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Avatar was just bad. Anyways, let's talk about us and our I think we come up with 16. So we're not trying to necessarily make a sort of big three, but we want to know what people think about what is the best anime, right?
So it's playoff time, baby.
Yeah, right.
Woo!
March Madness ended a while ago.
And playoffs is kicking off.
It's kicking off. Go Bucks. Because they look like the most cohesive team that is emotionally stable right now.
Not emotionally stable.
Yo, these teams are losing their mind. Like
except for Phoenix. Well,
except for Phoenix. I mean, but which is kind of crazy because CB, he was blamed for a lot of this.
Yeah.
But
for his other teams, but
he's super stable. He's great. Great team leader. They went to the almost to the finals almost every single year now. But anyways, all that
they went to the finals and lost to us.
Yes, to us. Shout out Giannis. Shout out to everybody on the Bucks. All I'd say is we come up with 16 animes. We want people to vote. How are we having people vote? We are having people vote on all our platforms. We're gonna show you our grid. We've come up with some really, and I would say intriguing. Probably
Shonen only. Is that the rule?
Shonen only.
Yeah.
Shonen only because
y'all don't have the depth. You don't have the depth, and you're not gonna disrespect my shit.
So snobby
you're not gonna disrespect my shit.
The most
this is an
accessible
anime
to
snob.
everybody.
The anime snob spot.
Everybody has.
You don't have the depth.
They don't have the depth.
You don't see the texture of what this anime feels like. I like that.
They said, "Are they boxy?" I ain't watching that shit.
So we come up with 16 shonen because we're not deep yet. Shonen animes that we want y'all to vote on, and I'm hoping in the next couple weeks.
Best shonen, that's what we're gonna call it. We're not gonna call it best anime.
Yeah,
best shonen.
Because Cultural Live Alone right now is top for this year.
Sure.
For me.
I gotta go back and watch that.
And second is Raking the Kings, and those flip depending on how I feel.
Yeah,
and neither one of those would be your classic shonen. So we're not going best overall. We're going best shonen. Because that's the more.
I don't know if we'll ever do best overall. I don't know if that makes
best overall will be hard, but
best overall you can only do with people that have watched
all
the anime.
Man, look at like me, people like me,
not people like me, because there's a lot of stuff I don't like. I don't watch horror anime at all, and there's some excellent horror anime out there, and
Shiki.
I will not.
We will watch Shiki.
I
mean, we kind of have to. We're the anime podcast.
October, we reviewing Shiki.
Yeah, we got
in October.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Great anime, great. It's mostly story. Great, amazing stories. Vampires.
You don't be scared.
I'm gonna be sick that week. Already just calling in now.
You would enjoy it.
Would I?
You honestly
Can
would.
we review Monster then too?
Sure.
Yeah,
I think we should do a horror one every single. Or at least
not
2
horror.
or 3 weeks.
No. Backtrack. I will be sick on those weeks.
But you want to do Monster and be sick.
Monster is like a psychological thriller. I can handle psychological thrillers.
She can handle
horror.
Real.
No.
Oh yeah. You're like, oh, I understand this real crime that happened.
I'll watch this.
This makes
this
it.
could probably never happen.
That is scary.
And I don't like it.
Werewolves.
I have a very active imagination, and I die in my dreams.
You don't have an active.
Die in your dreams suck. I ain't gonna hold you.
So much.
That's trash. I do not need my dream to be a video game, but I don't get scared of the fake stuff. The real stuff scares me. Like
my
wife be putting on mystery crime stuff.
I think it's interesting. People are interesting.
But not werewolves.
There's this show out right now about that's a kind of reenactment of the girl that convinced her boyfriend to commit unaliving. That scared me. That's scary to me.
That was that was Korean, wasn't it?
No. It's on Hulu right now.
She was like sending them messages and stuff, right?
Yeah, she was sending them messages.
I think that was like
yo,
Korean
you need to
couple,
do it.
Wasn't it? I don't think they were like in Korea.
No, I think it was both white.
Were they both white?
It was both whitey McWhite.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no diss to white people. I'm not putting this on y'all.
Or Korean people.
I'm just saying that it's never happened.
I don't know if it's never happened, but
I'm saying
we did
never.
watch the old boy used to get beat up on his lives.
Oh yeah.
So we can't say this.
You're right. There's
it's
other issues.
Specific.
There's other issues going on there.
Stuff like that in our own ways.
Right. Enough of my tangent though. So, 16 animes. Who will make it to the top? Next week I'll ask for y'all predictions. After we kind of narrow them down, I don't know if we want to do like 16-8 or 16-4.
We're gonna do 2 sides of the bracket,
right?
8 on each side.
Do we want to follow it every week about like each bracket?
Yeah,
let's do it. I'm down, and then we can show a little like graphic. Stuff. Yeah. I'm excited. All I'd say is check out our link cfapodcast.com. Follow us everywhere. Y'all know the slogan. Stay colorful. Peace.